Welcome, fellow anglers, to the Good Karma Sport Fishing Podcast. I am Captain Ryan Van Fleet, your host here in the Florida Keys. Each week, I bring you fishing tips, stories, gear reviews, and more to help you maximize your fishing trip, catch big fish, and overall have fun. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So it's hurricane season in the Florida Keys, and we wake up this morning. Today's Thursday. And I wake up this morning and the storm has gotten bigger, which we all anticipated down here. So, yeah, we're starting to make our plans, in case anybody's wondering. So, I'll do if we do leave, then I highly recommend that you guys follow me on Instagram, because I'll be providing you guys with updates of what's happening. And I will be doing some podcasting through the storm and some fishing tips and all that good stuff, because I will have time. But I'll use that time to provide you guys with some good educational tips and help everybody through it that's down here in South Florida and keep your mind off of it. So my podcasts are free, and I really appreciate it when you guys do share the podcast with fellow anglers, because the podcasts are meant to give back, and it's always good to give back. I'll tell you a little story here. This was probably about a month and a half ago. I was offshore fishing, and I had a spectacular day, and I had a charter boat, which I'm not going to name. He yelled over at me because he knows I don't talk on the radio, and he said, "Hey, I got something over here for you. I need you to check out. We're loaded up. We're heading in." And I already had plenty of fish, but, like any fisherman, it can never get enough sometimes. So I went and checked it out. And I'm glad I did, because we had some spectacular fishing, and we ended our day on a very high note. So I heard a report earlier this week about a catch that he just had. 50-pound wahoo, giant blue marlin, and a whole rack full of big gaffer dolphin. Good karma. Something to think about, guys. So here's a couple dolphin tips for you, using dead ballyhoo as a pitch bait to catch larger slammers and gaffers, and using poppers. I love using the Halco poppers, and bait strips. So if you don't have live bait, here's what you do. You grab a big ballyhoo out of your, and I hope you have ballyhoo with you, because you need them, even if you're not trolling. And then you hook them through the chin, and then you break the back, because you do want that tail shaking when you do this. And then you make a long cast way in the back, away from the school fish, off to the side. You don't need to see any fish. You just need to make a long splash. So what you guys... How dolphin hunt? They hunt on their sides. A lot of these fish do. They lay. They can see how they're swimming. They're turning to the sides. They're looking for flying fish, so they can see those fish in the air. So once you make a long cast, make it splash, and then reel as hard and fast as you can, and then watch what happens. So if the bull dolphin are there, they're gonna explode on it. They may miss it. So what's going to happen is they're going to come up and swipe at it. It's going to be a reactionary swipe. And then what you guys need to do, when they swipe at it, you need to open the bail and drop the bait back to them. You need to make this all happen at once. It's going to take some time, but if I had a couple little kids, I shouldn't say little kids, they were in their early teens. If I can show a couple little kids or teenagers how to do this, then you guys can do it too. So again, the dolphin coming to the side of the boat, you pull a ballyhoo out of the cooler, you make an extremely long cast behind the school of fish that you have alongside the boat, and you reel hard and fast, and watch what happens. You may have to do it a couple times, reel hard and fast, and then you're going to fire up the big fish that are laying in the weeds back there. A big dolphin's spooky. He could be below the fish as well, waiting to attack. So I've got some video of this too, and if you guys haven't seen that, I'll have to show you. But the dolphin now you can also use a popper rather than a dead ballyhoo, but dead ballyhoo worked the best in my opinion. Now what I've seen with a popper that I haven't seen with a dead ballyhoo is that a popper tends to fire up a fish that's lethargic, and he gets him active and ready to eat, but he doesn't necessarily want to eat. You'll see him charge at the popper, turn his head, go away from it, charge it again. This is where team fishing comes into play. You have the guy throw the popper, excite the fish, and have the other guy come in behind it with a dead bait. So basically what happens is the popper fires him up, the guy throws the dead bait at the fish, away from the fish a little bit, get the bait to splash, the fish eats the dead bait. So you just did an old school bait and switch. You got the fish fired up to eat with the popper, and then you threw the dead bait at him and got him to eat that. You got to do it really quick. I love using poppers. And when I get clients that love to cast at fish, I am all about this bait and switch tactic when the fishing gets a little challenging. I got clients that ask me every year, do we get to use the poppers today? That's how much fun it is. My last tip is using bait strips. Bait strips have been crushing it. Now, the thing with the bait strips, there's a couple little tricks to running these. I haven't had much luck running them on the surface because they just don't perform well in the weeds for me. But I have extremely good luck running them below the surface. And how I do this is I add a little tiny weight, like a 1 ounce to 2 ounce weight, like a chin weight, ballyhoo weight above the hook. And then I put my sea witch skirts over the top of it. So just add a little weight, like the one like you would add to a hoochie. Like a little soft plastic or something that you troll for tunas. That's going to help get that get that bait strip down below the water. And when it's below the water, that's when you get that action on that strip. And that's what drives the dolphin crazy, is that tail swagger and that little bit of light reflection. So the bait strip catches the light like awesome in the blue water. I mean, it's very good. It really catches that light. And the tail swagger gets them fired up. So, but the trick is, like I said, you got to get it below the surface. Now, if you don't have a weight, run it way the hell back on your long center or off the sides. But I prefer to run the bait strip on the long center when I'm running for, when I'm looking for an occasional blackfin or wahoo, or if I feel the fishing is really tough. I drop my line. I drop that bait strip back 350 foot. Yeah, it's a long ways back, but I got reels loaded with braid and high-speed reels, so it doesn't really phase my clients too much. And like I said, on a slow day, that long rod is going to save you 9 out of 10 times, especially if you want to put a quick blackfin tuna in the box. And if you want to be a guest on the Good Karma Sport Fishing Podcast, please email me. Okay, that's all I got for you guys today. Please give me a follow on Instagram at goodkarmasportfishing_FL_keys. And if you have any questions, please email me at goodkarmaryan@gmail.com. Again, thanks for listening. And remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good.